Hello traders out there in Traderland, D7 here with Grok Trade. It's the weekend edition. Good through Sunday, February 2nd, 2020. Alright, the markets ended the week very bearish, as we talked about in the last video. We expected big time bearish activity. We got it. We're down almost 2% on the spiders. Dow, or the Dow 50, down more than 2%. More than 2% on Russells. More than 2% on the financials to the south. That's bad. Crude oil down more than 2%. That's just huge. Silver, gold, obviously starting to pop up due to the weakness. VIX spiking higher, over 21%, almost 22%. We're at 18.8. Fear is increasing. Bitcoin now at 93. So we do have an increase in Bitcoin. Okay, here we are looking at the markets. As you guys know, first subscribe and hit the bell and that sort of thing if you haven't done so yet. So here's the deal. Last week we said, warning guys, we're setting up technically to drop. Very next trading session was a big drop to the downside. Watch the previous video if you haven't yet. It's Saturday morning, the time I'm doing this video. I'm drinking my coffee. And starting to get the gears going. And I'm excited about doing this video. But we're dropping here, okay? It's Friday. We had a massive drop on big volume, guys, across the board. If you look at the diamonds, big drop, broke support. The NASDAQ, the Qs, big drop, we're above support. But a big drop. Russell's 2000, another big drop below all moving averages but the 200-day moving average. That's big red down here. Big drop. It's a slide off taking place. Financials, big drop. It's the same place. We're below all major moving averages except big red, the 200 down here at the low. US dollar took a dump on Friday. Big drop here. We're finding support at just below the 20, right above the 50 simple day moving averages. Crude oil down. And we've broken all support levels, guys. This is bad news for crude oil. If you look at silver, daily chart, it's been a choppy mess. This is a big bull flag. It's a weird looking bull flag, guys. Weird looking, but that's bullish. Gold just keeps churning and going to the upside. So everything's going there. VIX broke this support here. Starting out, we broke support, or resistance. Broke that, got above all the moving averages. Now it's staying above the moving averages. We had a triangle. It broke out of the triangle on the 24th, and it just is starting to go higher. For those in cryptocurrency, we had a falling wedge down here, and down here on December 17th, we broke resistance. We go up. We broke major resistance on January 6th, and we have just gone up ever since. Looking very nice. All right, now here's the deal. This could turn out to be a bull flag on the spider. This is the S&P 500 spider. This could turn out to be a bull flag. Okay, so this could turn down here a little bit and then rally higher. It could happen, but right now the bears are in control across the board, so you can't ignore that. One thing I like to do is I like to go down here to the financials and say, what's happening with the financials? How does that look? On Thursday, we had this big pop higher. That gave me hope that the markets were going to heal themselves fairly quickly. However, Friday came and it had a big nasty drop. I'm seeing conflicting things happening here on the financials. This is more bearish than it is bullish at this moment. But Thursday was just very interesting to me. Very interesting. The other thing I like to look at is the Russell's 2000. So if I'm looking at the small caps, I see that it's showing significant weakness. This isn't turning into a bull flag. This is turning into a trend reversal that's taking place. This will be a shoulder, head and shoulder. This will be a head and shoulders trend reversal pattern, because this will bounce back up. We'll find resistance somewhere here or down here or somewhere. Usually about 50% Fibonacci. You come up here, find resistance and drop. You'll have your right shoulder. So up and then down. That's what I'm expecting here. So that tells me overall the markets are in trouble. They're in trouble. That's what I like to look at. But I like to look at, so the month's over, right? So I really want to pay attention to what's happened on the month. But before I do that, I want to look at the weeklies. So this is the spider weekly. We dropped. We're at support. You see this? The support. We need to stay above that support level right there. But if we can stay above it, we could bounce higher. Everything is fine. But this is what's called a pivot candle. That's bad news. Okay, bad news. If we break that support, we're in trouble. Okay. If you look at the diamonds, we have a big time pivot candle. We came up, filled the gap, come right back down. It's heading south. The weeklies are now dropping. The Qs dropped. We have a pivot candle, but the problem is it ended more bullish than bearish, even though we have a big upper shadow. Do you see how buyers started coming back in? That gives me hope. As long as we stay above this 8 EMA, that's really, really good. Russell's 2000, huge pivot candle, big drop, running up with the 20-week moving average here. We need to stay above it. Let's see if it does. Financials. Big pivot candle came on last week. So we got the pivot on last week's chart. This week we have a continuation with a lower high, lower low. But it almost, look how this inverted hammer, a lot of times those can get bullish again, but this line, I mean, we came up in that, now it's acting as resistance. You see that? It'd be interesting. I mean, this week is really interesting to see how things are going to play out. US dollar weekly, it looks like it's ready for a short. This is a perfect short. We drop here, we drop again. I mean, this is just a bear pullback. Look to short the US dollar on the weekly. Crude oil is down, but finding support at this trend line, guys. So is this going to bounce now? It could. We could see a bounce on crude oil. Silver is a high base. Look for that to go higher. Weekly chart. Gold weekly chart. Look for that to go higher. Looking good. The VIX, it released. You see how we're caught up in the moving average on the VIX? Caught up, and then boom, we release. We go higher. Bitcoin, we're at major resistance on the weekly. You see this? So it would be a good chance for it to start to drop. But if it breaks out of this, look for Bitcoin to make a major run to the upside. Right now, we're at just above 9,000. Okay, if it breaks this, look for a big run to the upside. All right, I want to look at the monthly chart because the month's over. This is really important to me as a trader. Really important. So this is the spider. This is the spider. I'm trying to do this video before our guests get here, okay? When the guests get here, my dog's going to start barking. It's just craziness. But the spider here, now this is the monthly chart. This has pause. This is called, extra bonus points. If down in the comments you can tell me what type of candlestick reversal pattern this is. Okay, extra bonus points. Say it below. Even if other people have said it, you say it. I want to know that you know it. And don't copy. Don't say it because someone else said it. If you know what it is, say it in the comments on YouTube or wherever you find this. So this should start coming down. So the month comes down, and this trend line needs to act as support to stay bullish. So this is what I foresee. I see February being very bearish. From the looks of this, if I'll make this on this spider, if we go below 319 on the SPY, if we go below 319, the chances of having a very bearish February is good. If I had a gun to my head and I had to put a percentage on it, this is highly unscientific what I'm getting ready to do. But I would say at least a 75% chance of a bearish February if we get below 319 on the spider. And I see it being, a nice little drop. I mean, we'll probably stay above 300. I could see his dip as low as 300, but come back up at the 310 mark. So, yeah, I could see us, right now we're at 321. We need to stay above, 310, ideally. We need to stay above that. On the monthly, to still stay bullish in the marketplace. The diamonds showing reversal. This trend line needs to hold up. The Qs, up. The NASDAQ, it's still looking good. Nothing tells me that you should be selling on the monthly on the NASDAQ. The Russells, that's a reversal pattern right there. There's another reversal. Bearish engulfing is what this one is. Or a dark cloud cover, rather. Dark cloud cover. So this is that looks like it's getting ready to drop. Russell's 2000. Financials. We got over resistance. It's really good, but look how we're paused. The best thing that the financials can do is rest. Just come up here and base above this area on the monthly chart. US dollar monthly, we broke and came right back up. Isn't that interesting? This is a little jab. Let me see how many times this trend line has been tested. It's been tested multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you don't count that 5, 6, 7. We broke it last month. And this month we came right back. So the US dollar could get really bullish quickly. That's interesting. Crude oil is in this big time symmetrical triangle on the monthly chart. Big drop. It's just going to be turbulent within these two trend lines. Silver, high base. Look for that to go higher on the monthly chart. Gold is already released. There's the high base and it released. So that's obviously bullish. That's going higher. So it's looking really, really good. Really good there. VIX, the monthly, it's dropped and now popping higher. And the Bitcoin on the monthly is at big time resistance right now. Big time resistance. Let's see what it does. If it's going to break out, which it could because we have a higher swing low, much higher swing low. It didn't even come down here. So it was relatively much stronger because it did not hit down there. And then, so it come down and then to about 61.8 area and then rallied higher. I mean, Bitcoin just looks rock solid to me. But anything can happen, right? Anything in the markets can, in fact, happen. Quick run over here to the Dow 30, and I want to look at the daily charts on the Dow 30. Apple. Man, Apple, Friday, just everything took a hit, right? Everything took a hit. Apple dropped. We're below, for the first time in a long time, below the 20-day moving average. Needs to stay above these resistance lines. AXP, big drop, stay above the 20-day. That's my blue line, 20 days. Stay above the trend line, that'd be great. Boeing looks like a nice short. It had earnings on the 30th. I mean, it's set up for a short, or it could be a trend. Look for a W trend reversal, a double bottom trend reversal, or an inverted head and shoulders. It could be that. Caterpillar is just dead, dead, dead. Nobody should be in that, at least long. If you're in that short when it broke down off of this trend line, so there's a trend line, right? Basically, kind of there. Oh, no, it's right there. That's the trend line. Support. Broke it, came back above, and then rallied up, hit its head, and then dropped. If I go to a line chart, you'll see that support. That's kind of a weird thing. Resistance, and then it dropped. Kind of dropped. So, Costco. Or Cisco. I keep counting Costco. Any Costco fans out there? Who goes to Costco? Anybody? I like me some Costco. Anyway, it's just dropping. You definitely don't want to be along that. Oh, man. Chevron just took, had earnings on the 31st, so Friday. Broke major resistance. That's bad news. What's interesting on Disney is it broke major area of support on the 200-day moving average and a trend line. It keeps acting as resistance and can't get back above it. So that could be problematic. GE is starting to drop. But you notice how we're going higher on these big blue chip stocks. They tend to be doing a little better now in the turbulence because this is relatively, well, it's perceived as being strength, right? Or being less risky. Goldman Sachs trying to hang in there. It's caught up in the moving averages. You don't want to be trading things that are caught in moving averages. We're at resistance. Look at that. Resistance. We drop. It's got to stay above this trend line, or Home Depot is a short. IBM, had earnings, pulled back, and had this major rally on Friday. Who knows the news on that? I don't trade IBM. So who knows the news on that? Why did that go on such huge volume, big rally, bullish that? Intel, we broke an area of resistance. Bad news, we filled the gap. A lot of times you fill the gap, you're going to rally back. Let's see what happens. Johnson & Johnson is just going higher, rock solid again. JP Morgan is in trouble. It needs to stay above this. I see this drifting down to this trend line. Coca-Cola broke over Thursday, came right back on Friday. That could be a jab. Look for a major correction to take place on Coca-Cola. McDonald's just going higher, fairly good if you're long that. Triple M has just had a bloody week. We were talking about that being problematic. And sure enough, this is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. It was just this big drop right here. Nasty. If you were short that, congrats. Let me know if you're short in any of these things that have been dropping. I'm really interested. I want to see your trading prowess. Let me know where you're at. Bad news on Merck, Microsoft. Microsoft is fine. It's just pulling back. Look for a setup. Nike is in big time trouble. Broke two major trend lines and below most major moving averages. PFE. There's your doji starting to bounce. Look for that to bounce, but look for a short opportunity. Let it rally a few days and then look to short that. Procter & Gamble looks like a short. TRV is big time short now. Broke that support line. UNH, when it broke this support line, it tried to rally up, but it was just dead. United Health is just dropping. Sorry for the guys I play racquetball with who work there. Sorry, 401ks are going to taking a little heat at this moment. UTX, that's bad news. This choppiness, we're caught up in the moving averages. Stay away from it. Visa, bad news. I mean, it just caught. See this big trend line? It got above it, below it. It doesn't know what to do with it now. Now it's below the 20-day moving average. Bearish on that. Verizon bouncing off of support. That should drift to the upside. But look how it's caught up in the moving averages. Don't get caught up in that. So, man, Walgreens has just been bleeding southbound. Bad news for Walgreens. Walmart looks, I don't know, it could be trying to find a bottom. Caught up in moving averages. Stay away from it. And look, Exxon gas has just been horrible. So we just had earnings. Just pitiful. Quick look here at the Grok and tech stocks. Where I looked at Apple, AMD. It's caught up on this moving average right here. It had a chance on Thursday to rally up, but Friday was just too bad. That one, if it can get back above this trend line and start heading higher, could be a long. Amazon had earnings and just exploded. I mean, Amazon's just a rock star. Look for that to pull back and look for a nice long position there. Baba is just under some heat, some pressure. It's caught up in the moving averages. Just be careful. Baidu, same thing. It's caught up in the moving averages, below most of them. Stay away from that. Booking is just crashing and burning. That's short city. Cisco, short, it's dropping. Catfish, oh, what a mess. Just more short, but we got big support. Stay away from. eBay, big drop on Friday, guys. Broke major support, big time short on eBay. Facebook at major support. It stopped there. Look how it touched. If you zoom in, went down there, touched that trend line. If you draw your trend lines right, they're just spot on. Most people, I'd say 95% of all traders out there, look at trend lines as more of an art than a science. It is not. It's highly objective, and it is all black and white, highly scientific. You have to draw them correctly. If you draw them correctly, you will be spot on where to enter, where to find support, where to set stop losses. Where to set your stop losses is the key when it comes to drawing trend lines properly. And I'm just a fanatic about that. So is Mark, right? We're fanatics about that. Google starting to break down. Guys, that could get bloody. Google with an L, same thing. GoPro had the triangle, broke out to the downside. Wednesday, Thursday, we dropped. Friday, we dropped more. It's in trouble. Microsoft, it looks fine. Let it pull back a little bit. Enter. MU, rising 50-day moving average, trying to find support. This is a short, but look for it to rally a bit and then drop. You'll have your head and shoulder trend reversal pattern. Netflix, this looks like a nice buy soon. Look at this. Look for that to pop higher. Nvidia, head and shoulders in the making. Stay away from that. Oh, we just broke that support line. That is no good. Hold on, I can't draw this line. That's not correct. I have to draw it that way. My trend lines need to be just spot on. So it's still above support. If it stays above support and rallies higher, you're fine with Nvidia. Oracle, it's bad news. It's trending south. We have lower swing highs, lower swing lows. That is, look for it to rally up. Look for a short at this resistance level if it can get back up there. PayPal, it's holding strong. If it can start to rally again, look to enter PayPal. Shopify, and that's topping out. I'd be taking profits on that. Snap is building kind of a bull pennant flag type thing. Stay with it if it can stay above $17. If it can stay above 18 before it rallies, that could be a good trade. Tesla is up and away. Had earnings and everything is fine with Tesla. Congrats to those who are holding Tesla. And mind you, this is education purposes only. I'm not telling you those that I'm in or not in, because it's none of your business and your trades are none of my business, okay? This is, but just know, I could be holding a lot of these trades that I'm talking about. So don't take my, hey, this is a buy or this is a sell, as I just want to be careful there, right? Because I'm an educator, not a financial advisor. I have to say that legally here in the United States, okay? Twitter, big bear flag. If it can break down, look to short that. But we have earnings coming up. You do not want to hold over earnings. And there we are. And I did this before our guest showed up. So no barking dog. Oh, you know what? Let me say this before I show you something cool I just bought this weekend. So it looks like President Trump will be acquitted. So the impeachment should be wrapping up. So that at least puts that news to rest if there was any turbulence that we were seeing in the markets due to that. And but just keep a close eye. Here's my issue. Oh, guys, here's my issue. Yes, the economy is strong, especially after an 11-year run up. We should only run up 5 years with a 3-year pullback. That's what we saw from 95 to 2000, a 5-year run up to the upside, and then we get a 3-year pullback. So we get to 2000, 2003, we pulled back, found the bottom, and then 2003 we ran up to 2008. So 2003 to 2008, 5 years, right? Then we had 2008 financial crash. We come bearing, just coming down. Then we rally again, and we rallied up our 5 years. Then there were elections. Investors like that. We've run up another 5 years. We're 6 years. We are so extended now to the upside. We're 11 years up. It's just a matter of we will get a retracement at some point. But here's what my issue is, guys. Why are we not talking about the debt? 23 trillion, are you kidding me, in debt, and the deficit keeps increasing? That is not responsible. You've got to, as a businessman, as an investor, I don't invest in companies that keep increasing their debt and keep increasing their expenditures quarter after quarter after quarter. You can't do that. It's not fiscally responsible. It's not morally responsible. If you look at your money as something that you should treasure and value. I don't like that the United States keeps going higher in debt. I don't like the fact that our deficit keeps creeping higher. Please give me a GDP that increases. We are seeing that, Okay. That's a good thing. Keep jobs, everyone having a job. That's great. Love that. Unemployment numbers. Fantastic. But I just feel like this major rally we have seen on the macro level, this next election, it could be the catalyst to say, okay, let's finally get our pullback, because it's healthy for the markets. You have to have that. Give us a health. The only thing that could happen that would be better is if the next few years we just chop sideways and we build a high base. If we do that, that's it. That is so solid. That means we won't experience a pullback. Our pullback will be sideways, not down, if you're following me. So next few years we do that, build a base, we catch our breath, then we have a foundation to launch from. Dude and dudettes, are you kidding me? That's the cat's meow for all of us, all of our retirements, all of our long-term holds. Now, the part of me where my soul cries, okay, is you can make money 66% faster to the downside. I would not mind a nice pullback in the markets. 2-3 year pullback. It would be hurtful, to some economically, but it's the ebb and flow. That's what happens up and down in the markets. That's just part of it. I know how to exploit those opportunities. If you start to drop, short the puddings out of that, and you can make a lot of money quickly. So I'm probably more inherently bullish than bearish, but I try to be 50-50 with my bias. And I try to teach my students the same thing. You got to be 50-50. You can't have a bias going in there, but we all do. It's a psychological barrier we have to keep fighting with. So anyway, that's my issue. And I'd really like to hear your thoughts on the debt deficit. The deficit just means how much we spend from month to month, quarter to quarter, year to year, what our expenditures are. Our debt is what we owe. And right at 23 trillion, can't make that up. I have a trading club. I mean, it was like 500 strong. It's big. It's a big trading club. We have some professors there, some enthusiasts when it comes to the economy. And when I say enthusiasts, most of us would consider them professionals. Well, they're technically not experts, but they basically say this. With the debt, we have a couple issues. World Reserve, or, the currency issue. China would like their currency to be the new World Reserve, and the currency of choice worldwide. But that's one thing. Keeping our status with the U.S. dollar is very, very important. But here's the deal. With all that debt, how do you fix that? What happens? The only thing you can do is pay it off, okay? Pay off the debt. But I see expenditures going higher. Politicians saying, I'll give you more. If you do that, the debt can only go one direction. I don't see any politician coming up and say, I'm going to cut all subsidies to everything, and we're going to get our books back in order, okay? I haven't seen that. Okay, that said, what else could happen? Well, we could go back to the gold standard. Okay, we could do that. Somebody said, or you could print a coin, $23 trillion coin, and say, hey, I just printed my, the new coin, and pay it off with that. Or inflation will take care of it. And they say at that level, why wouldn't you think that it would be hyperinflation that would take care of it? In other words, wheelbarrows of money, US dollars, to pay for a loaf of bread. Okay, I'm being a little melodramatic here. But what's your thoughts on this? Especially those of you who are, enthusiasts on the economic level. I'd really like to hear your thoughts. Talk back, engage with each other. I want to see discussion, because we have such a rich ecosystem here that we can share information and data back and forth through YouTube and through Twitter and LinkedIn. We have that ability. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. Bring validity to it. Try to keep bias out of it, bring facts or experiences or ideas. Ideas is what we're after. Okay. Oh, let me end. So far I'm dodging the bullet, but let me show you the coolest little gadget I just purchased. I got it sitting right. Oh man. Do you guys see this? Oh man, I don't know. I don't know if you can see it. It's a lamp. It's a lamp that's very steampunk. And it's made out of Indy 500 racing parts and gears. Oh, it's so cool. Just purchased that last night. And I'm thinking about taking that shelf out right here, so I have room to put it in, or take that shelf out. I've got a hand-carved chess set right there from Botswana, Africa. Take this out, set that right there, and that would be my cool, super cool backdrop. I'm such a guy. All right, guys. Love you all. Like, subscribe if you want to be part of our ecosystem. Take care and have a great rest of the week. Let's see what happens. This will be fun.